Why saving alone will never make you rich. For most of my life, I believed the golden rule of money was simple. Save as much as you can. I grew up hearing that saving was the path to financial freedom. My parents told me, my teachers told me, and society reinforced it every chance it got. And in many ways, they weren't wrong. Saving is important. But as I grew older, I discovered a harsh truth. Saving alone will never make you rich. Now, don't misunderstand me. Saving is the foundation of financial security. It keeps you from drowning in debt, it provides a cushion for emergencies, and it gives you peace of mind when the unexpected happens. But if your only strategy is to save, you'll eventually run into a problem. The world is moving faster than your savings account. Why? The answer is simple: inflation. Inflation is the silent enemy of savers everywhere. It doesn't matter if you live in the United States, Brazil, India, or Germany, the principle is the same. The cost of living increases over time. That dollar you save today will buy less tomorrow. In the United States, the long-term average inflation rate is about 2 to 3% a year. That means if your savings account pays you 1% interest, you are actually losing money without even realizing it. Multiply that over 10 or 20 years, and your safe savings start to shrink in value, even as the number looks the same on your bank statement. This is why saving alone is not enough. To build real wealth, you must go beyond saving and enter the world of investing. And let me be clear, investing is not gambling. It's not about throwing money into the stock market and hoping you get lucky. Investing, done correctly, is about putting your money to work so it grows faster than inflation. So, what does that look like in real life? Let's break it down into principles that apply everywhere, not just in the United States. 1. Save to invest, not just to save. The first step is to change the way you think about saving. Instead of saving for the sake of saving, start saving with the goal of investing. Your savings account should be like a waiting room, not a permanent home. Build an emergency fund, yes. Everyone needs one. But once you have 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside, every extra dollar should be pointed towards something that grows. In the U.S., that might mean putting money into index funds, stocks, or real estate. In other parts of the world, it could mean government bonds, small businesses, or even community savings groups that generate returns. The principle is the same everywhere. Money sitting idle loses value, but money that is invested has the power to multiply. 2. Understand the power of compound interest. Albert Einstein once called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. Compound interest is when your money earns money, and then that money earns even more money. Over time, the effect snowballs into something massive. Here is a simple example. Imagine you invest $1,000 with an average annual return of 8%. In the first year, you earn $80. Now, imagine if you kept adding money consistently. That's how ordinary people, not just millionaires, build wealth. This principle works in every economy because the math of compounding does not change from country to country. 3. Diversify your income streams. Another reason saving alone won't make you rich is that it depends entirely on one source, your paycheck. If your salary is the only river flowing into your financial life, then you're vulnerable. What happens if that river dries up? A job loss, a health issue, or an economic downturn can stop your income in an instant. That's why wealthy people think differently. They build multiple streams of income. Some of those streams are active, like a business or a side hustle. Others are passive, like investments, rental properties, or digital products. The point is, they never rely on a single source. And here is the good news. You don't need to be a millionaire to start building streams. You can begin small, right where you are. In the U.S., people create side hustles through platforms like Etsy, Uber, or YouTube. In other countries, people start micro-businesses, rent out extra space, or join co-ops. The principle is the same everywhere. Build more than one way for money to flow into your life. 4. Invest in assets, not just savings. Here's another hard truth. Savers often confuse money in the bank with wealth. But real wealth comes from assets, things that put money in your pocket over time. Assets can be stocks, bonds, real estate, or even intellectual property. Contrast that with liabilities which take money out of your pocket. A fancy car that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot? That's a liability. A house that you rent out to others, generating monthly income? That's an asset. In every country, the wealthy are not simply people with big bank balances. They are people who own assets that produce income. That is the difference between staying stuck and building wealth. 5. Mindset over money. At the end of the day, wealth is not just about numbers, it's about mindset. If you believe that saving is the only path to security, you will always play defense. But if you adopt the mindset of growth, you start looking for opportunities. Opportunities to invest, opportunities to build, opportunities to take calculated risks. And here is the secret. Wealthy people don't need to save instead of investing. They save so they can invest. That mental shift is everything. The bigger picture. Think about it this way. If saving alone could make you rich, then the millions of people around the world with money in the bank would all be wealthy. But they're not. Because wealth is not about holding on tightly to what you have. It's about multiplying it wisely. Saving gives you stability. Investing gives you growth. Both are necessary, but only one creates real wealth. And this is true everywhere. Whether you are in the United States, where you have access to stock markets and retirement accounts, or in another country where investment opportunities look different, the principle does not change. Money must work for you, not just sit in a bank. So, why will saving alone never make you rich? Because saving protects your money, but it doesn't grow it. To build wealth, you need to go beyond saving and step into the world of investing, compounding, and asset building. It doesn't take millions. It doesn't take luck. It takes discipline, consistency, and the willingness to think differently about money. So let me leave you with this challenge. Stop thinking of saving as the final destination. Think of it as the first step on a much bigger journey. Build your emergency fund, yes, but then start moving your money into things that grow. Let compounding, diversification, and assets work in your favor. Because the truth is, wealth is not reserved for the lucky few. It is built by those who choose to act differently. And if this message resonated with you, then let's keep the conversation going. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Tell me, what's the one financial habit you're ready to change today? Your answer might be the spark someone else needs to begin their own journey. And together we can prove that money is not just about survival. It's about freedom.